2021 Premier League season is brought to you by OddsChecker, your one-stop betting hub. Yes, you guys, welcome back. I'm Michy FC. This is Brozovic, and today's News Daily video is brought to you by OddsChecker. Now, if you guys don't know already, the OddsChecker app is your one-stop betting hub, and that's for a very good reason. The app essentially is a hub that contains all the best and leading bookies in one place. So if you're someone that already likes to place bets, that likes to have a little bit of fun, then this app could be the perfect app for you. You know, what makes this app even better now is the fact that right now, if you find the latest apps using the app, you can just bet directly from it. You couldn't do this before, but now you can, and it's features like this that makes the app such a useful companion app to have for people that like to place their bets. It seems like they have pretty good odds on us having some decent success for this season to come. Of course, music to my ears. And you guys, if anyone is interested in downloading the app, you'll find a link below in the description. And of course, remember, you have to be over 18 years old to download this app. You guys, make sure you gamble responsibly. And without wasting any more time, we move straight into the first story today. And this was news that came out literally only a few hours ago. And that's the fact that Michy Batshuayi has officially completed his loan move to Crystal Palace. Now, we know that for Michy to complete this loan move in the first place, he did have to agree upon signing a new one-year contract extension with this club, because at this point in time, we understand that our club likes to make money, has a business model and plan centered around collecting the loan fees for players they own. Now, of course, ideally we prefer to sell these players if we can, but in the case of Michy Batshuayi, I really feel like the moment we kind of priced out Dortmund from completing his signing and signing him on a permanent, it meant that we were never, ever going to command a fee anywhere near close to that original 60 million valuation. You know, sometimes when you're a bit too greedy and, you know, a bit too short-term at times, it means that you can set yourself up for future failure. I think we can definitely take an L in this Michy deal because, of course, you guys, for me, we should have sold this guy for big money a few years back. He shouldn't still be here, and I think it's testament to how maybe, I don't know, maybe a bit obtuse we can be when it comes to negotiating. We have to understand sometimes that you just can't always make a profit or get the best deal out of every asset and player you own. It just does not work like that. And I guess with Michy only signing a one-year extension, it's not like we even gave him like 2 years or 3 years to really just show the player, okay, you do have a long-term future here and something can happen if you have a good loan spell. That won't be the case whatsoever. And Michy makes his return back to Crystal Palace. I personally think this is a decent move for him. Of course, he gets to stay in London. As he was saying on Twitter, I guess, you know, when he was at Crystal Palace the first time, are known as Saucy FC, which is pretty funny in itself. Now, we've got some more official news and confirmation. It seems like Billy Gilmour is now going to take over the previous shirt number left by Michy Batshuayi. And earlier today on Twitter, you know, it was quite funny to see how Michy was interacting with Billy in regards to being like, yo, I thought you were my guy. Like, how you taking my number, bro? I literally been out the door 5 minutes and he already just like cleaning up the entire shop. It's pretty funny, and you know, it's stuff like this I think is why me and a lot of us do like Michy Batshuayi. I think he is a very nice guy, a very likable character. I feel like maybe if things worked in his favor a bit better, he'd be playing consistently week in, week out. But, you know, he's still quite young, only 26 years old. He still has plenty of time to get the very best career for himself. And I think he's going to have a pretty decent season at Crystal Palace. We now move on to the second and final story for today, and this centers around N'Golo Kante. Now, I spoke previously about some reports suggesting that Inter Milan, of course, are doing the most to try and sign Kante. It does seem like information has come out though in regards to what those negotiations were saying in the first place. The Guardian, they broke the story and they reported that Inter Milan have offered Brozovic as part of that deal to try and sign Kante. Naturally, a club like us, we weren't accepting that whatsoever, and Inter came back again, this time offering Eriksen as if we need another cam. Like, come on, if you're really hoping to get one of our players and you want to do player swaps, give us players we can use and actually need. You've seen us in the market sign Havertz and Ziyech. Do you really think we're going to add to that? Of course not. And to be honest, you know, I'm getting a bit bored speaking about Inter Milan. You know, they're really starting to annoy me right now. What makes this even worse is that for a while now, we've been thinking, okay, when's this move with Emerson going to Inter Milan? When's that gonna happen? What is taking so long? And it seems like this may never even happen in the first place. Today, you guys, Inter Milan confirmed the official signing of Kolarov from Roma, and reports came out earlier today suggesting that we turned down a loan bid from Inter Milan to sign Emerson with the option to buy at the end of his loan spell. I mean, it's so frustrating doing business sometimes with Italian clubs. I mean, of course, they are completely entitled to do business like that, but as a fan, when you want to get these players out the door, bring the money in and reinvest that money into other areas, then you're just hoping the deal gets done quickly and smoothly. That's not to be the case, you guys, and naturally, if I'm the club, I would just ignore Inter Milan from this point on. And the main thing is now, N'Golo Kante, we keep seeing reports and stories, left, right and centre, speaking about him potentially leaving in this window. Now, I do want to clarify to you guys, the reality is right now is that the club don't want to sell Kante. Okay, well, listen, Kante has a price, but his price is ridiculous. Like, you need to come in with an unbelievable offer to tempt us to even consider selling Kante. So unless bids are over, like, at least for me, if I'm making my own personal educated guess, I'm expecting minimum 80 million bids. And yes, I understand that last season, we didn't see Kante at his consistent best, and I stress that word consistent because it's been a lot of, I've seen a lot of hyperbolic takes in regards to Kante having a bad season last year. And I'm just thinking, did you not see that Liverpool game with me? Did you not see some of the games that Kante played last season? The main issue that we couldn't see that consistent class came down to injuries and Kante. Personally, I feel that if we ever sold Kante for those reasons, it would leave me with a very sad taste in my mouth and I wouldn't feel too right about you guys, I did a massive video breaking down Kante, why we need to have some faith, why we need to have some patience, and how Kante got in this situation in the first place where he's even been spoken about as someone that could potentially be sold if the right offers come in the first place. I did a big video breaking down that story, you guys, and I'm going to link that in the card above. But for me, it's quite simple that all Kante needs is a bit of rest. It started with Sarri. The moment Sarri just rushed him back left, right and centre, most notably in that game against Arsenal where we beat them 4-1 in the Europa League. Imagine Kante played the full 90 minutes and you're just thinking, why? Why is he playing the full 90 minutes in a game that is effectively dead right now because we've won it? I can understand why coaches would, take that risk in using Kante. For a manager, Kante is like a get out of jail free card. He basically is. If you're a team that wants to win something, having a player like Kante in your starting 11 is dramatically going to boost your chances to do that because he's one of the best defensive players of his generation. I think that's pretty simple to say, and I also think it's simple to say too that Kante will come back. Let's not act like he has some, crazy just reoccurring injury that he's never been able to get over and through. That's not the case whatsoever. It's literally a case of Kante always consistently being rushed back when he isn't fully fit. And what happens when you do that? Well, it means that your body becomes further susceptible to breaking down even more, and that's what's been happening over these past 18 months. So right now, give the guy a bit of a break. We need him. We need his experience. This guy's won trophies for us, with us, the biggest honours in football. When you have a young, hungry team, you need to mix those young, hungry players with top quality, experienced players. That's how it works, you guys. For me, it wouldn't make sense to sell Kante and then reinvest the funds in Declan Rice. I think Rice will need a few more years to get to the level that Kante is currently on. I got faith in him. I know he's going to come that good. I just think all we need to do is have patience with Kante. I really think it's that simple. Kante's put his body on the line for us fans, for his managers, for his teammates, and for himself as well. We can't just disrespect that. We have to just acknowledge that because that's a big thing to do in modern day football, but most times players won't play a single game if they know they're not fully ready. We need to have that same support that Kante had for us, return it back to him. And there you guys, that was the News Daily video for today. There is going to be another video coming out later today as well, so make sure you guys do stay tuned for that. But on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. I'm the EFC, this is Blue Line CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.